Latest in the controversial Rafale deal, a day after the Modi government submitted documents relating to the procurement procedure followed in the deal to the Supreme Court, the CEO of Dassault has denied charges levelled by Congress chief Rahul Gandhi. The CEO of Dassault Aviation, Trappier, has refuted Congress's charges of fraud in the deal. On the 2nd of November, the Congress President Rahul Gandhi had accused the French manufacturer of lying and protecting Prime Minister Modi in the Rafale deal. Trappier, in an interview, has today hit back at the Congress chief and said that as the head of the aviation major, he cannot lie. Trappier has come out in defense of the BJP government. He claimed that the fighter planes are 9% cheaper aircraft to aircraft when compared to the deal that was signed by the UPA in 2012. The Dassault CEO added that picking Reliance was Dassault's own choice and not influenced by anyone. He also added that Dassault did not rule out a partnership with HAL and that the public sector giant did not seem interested in becoming the offset partner. This, however, is in contradiction to former HAL chief T. Suvarnaraju's statement that producing Rafale jets would have been a challenge that the public sector company could have greatly benefited from.
The land that Mr. Ambani was supposedly having was bought with the money Dassault gave them. Why is the Dassault CEO, number one, why is he lying? Who is he protecting? There's only one person the Dassault CEO is protecting. And that's the person who runs this country. That is Mr. Narendra Modi.
I don't lie. The truth, everything I declared before, all the statements I made are the truth. I can confirm to you today, and I don't have the reputation to lie. And when you are in my position as a CEO, you don't lie.
देखिए, Rafale is a open and shut case. Open and shut case. And there is only one man, एक ही व्यक्ति है. Well, actually दो हैं. Partnership है. Anil Ambani and Narendra Modi.
I took the decision to continue with Reliance and HL, which I know well. They even said in the last few days that they were not interested to be part of offset. So it has been done by my decision and the decision of Reliance together to go ahead to invest in a new private company.
पूरे हिंदुस्तान को मालूम है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने 30,000 करोड़ रुपए हिंदुस्तान की जनता का पैसा, हिंदुस्तान के एयरफोर्स का पैसा अनिल अंबानी की जेब में डाला है.
We are not putting the money in Reliance. We are putting the money in the joint venture. In this joint venture, I put my know-how free of charge.
Yeah, Polami Saha, who's with us live from the national capital. Polami, the CEO of Dassault, Trappier, point by point responding to all the allegations that have been levelled by Rahul Gandhi, also saying that he's not lying, saying that as a CEO of a big company, he cannot lie, but not really explaining why and how HAL was ruled out of the deal and Reliance came into the picture, considering that Reliance was, the company was only 10 days old when the deal was inked. Also not really explaining the price difference between the 2012 deal and 16 deal and not making the prices clear either.
Well, yes, some of it with reference to, for instance, the pricing question. He, of course, says that that is not for me to throw light on. That is something which has been agreed upon between the government of India and the government of France. And I'm not the one to break that confidentiality agreement and expose the details of how the price negotiations took place and at which point, the deal was struck and the price was arrived at, the final price was arrived at. So that is his explanation. As far as the HAL question is concerned, Simi, he obviously does not delve much into it. He does not try and throw too much light on that. He does say, of course, that as far as the choice of Reliance was concerned, that was the choice which was made by Dassault. It was not a choice which was imposed upon Dassault by either the Indian government or the French government. It was Dassault who chose Reliance, and Reliance is only one among 30 other offset partners that Dassault has already chosen to get into an agreement with as part of its own obligation, offset obligation in the contract which has been struck between the government of India and the government of France. So yes, there are several moot points which Trappier does not exactly delve into or throw much light on or tries to sort of sidestep as far as this entire conversation that he had with an Indian news agency is concerned. So It remains to be seen how, of course, the opposition and specifically the Congress plays this up going forward into the winter session of Parliament, because already after the interview, Rahul Gandhi tweeted and he said that as far as the government's own response to the court yesterday is concerned, some of it which is out in the public domain as part of a redacted copy to the petitioners and some of it which is with the Supreme Court of India in a sealed envelope. What is out clearly states that the Prime Minister, when he chose to show his intent to make this deal with the French government in March 2015, he did so without the requisite thumbs up from the Indian Air Force and the Defence Acquisition Council, and that is a huge question mark as to whether he did go through the process and of checks and balances and due diligence while expressing this intent to sign this particular deal in the fashion that it has eventually been signed later that year in September with the then French President François Hollande, and the whole the opaque factor about Dassault and Dassault's own offset negotiations with Reliance Defence, as you said, a company which has no background experience whatsoever in this very particular industry.
Absolutely, Paulomi. In fact, Trappier also saying that HAL was not interested in becoming an offset partner, which is contrary to what the former chief of HAL had said, that the public sector giant could have greatly benefited from this partnership. Stay on with us, Paulomi. A mega political face-off has broken out. The Congress party has now slammed Dassault CEO defending its chief. The Congress has called the entire interview a manufactured lie. The BJP, meanwhile, has claimed vindication.
It's a very untidy cover-up on the part of Prime Minister and the government. They'll be exposed more, because if this is the cover-up, that the Mr. Trappier is made to say that they were talking to them since 2012. And are we that naive as people, as a country, or for that matter Supreme Court, that they can't make the difference between Reliance Industries, which is Mukesh Ambani's, or this company of Anil Ambani, which was registered in March 2015. With whom were they negotiating? It's actually does not convince anyone.
I am very impressed that a company like Dassault and the CEO think that a one-day-old company or a one-week-old registered company has the requisite experience. And is that the measuring yardstick for their company? They take on partners like this. Which of the other partners have a one-week experience? And when did they register? I'd like to know that. That's an interesting study.
राजनीति में जब जब चुनाव आता है, तब तक झूठ का जो आडंबर है, वो फैलाने के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी भी और उनके सहयोगी लोग हमेशा प्रयत्न करते हैं। आदरणीय राहुल जी की बात पर उनकी पार्टी के लोग विश्वास नहीं करते, तो जनता की तो आप दूर की बात है। सब जानते हैं कि एक अच्छे सौदे के लिए, जिसके लिए चीन चिंतित है, पाकिस्तान ऐसा दुश्मन देश चिंतित है, उसके लिए कांग्रेस चिंतित हो, ये बड़ा विडंबना की बात है।
The PR stunt that Eric Trappier and Prime Minister Modi are doing will not cover up the layers of corruption in the Rafale deal. Dictated interviews and manufactured lies cannot cover up corruption in the Rafale deal.
The truth has come out in the open, and it is very clear that the Anil Ambani company has been selected by Dassault, and the government has no role to play when it comes to selecting the Indian offset partner.
We need not go by what he claims. He thinks he is a great guy, he speaks only the truth. We know how the corporate houses, whether they are Indian corporate houses or foreign corporate houses, work. And their motive is profit making.
When the matter is in the Supreme Court in a sealed envelope, there is a defense mechanism being built by the CEO Dassault. What do you think he would say? He would say that, well, you know, it was all transparent and it's government to government. No. Any salesman, I consider the CEO of the company also a salesman, and he will say what the government wants, and the dictates go from Delhi. I mean, what are we blowing our horns about? The whole exercise is a PR exercise to ensure that the kind of rattled government that it is to cover up.
If you remember, on the last occasion, the Honorable Supreme Court has made it very clear to the Government of India that if the price aspect, according to you, is to be protected under the Official Secret Act, then to that extent you explain to us in an affidavit. Now, I have no idea as to what the government's explanation has been on that count. And the information that was sought to be supplied to Supreme Court was also supposed to be confidential. It was to be given in a sealed cover to the learned judges so that they would only have access to it. But I find that it is available publicly to all media houses.
We have Paulmi Saha, who's with us live from the National Capital. Paulmi, the Congress's statement is quite interesting. It says, first rule of law, mutual beneficiaries and co-accused statements hold no value. Second rule, beneficiaries and accused can't be the judge in their own case. It's interesting because, Dassault is a mutual beneficiary in the matter. If the CEO or the company rather does decide to protect its own interests, it won't come as a surprise. The defense that I don't lie is hardly something that anyone would buy.
That's absolutely true. Dassault is a mutual beneficiary in this government-to-government contract which has been signed between the governments of India and France. So clearly the Congress is definitely right in saying that, you cannot take what the CEO of Dassault, Eric Trappier, is saying at face value. It needs to be examined. It needs to be investigated. If there are allegations coming in which show that the UPA was striking a deal at the exact same price, if not lesser, as far as the 126 Rafale jets were concerned, eventually 18 were to come in flyaway condition and the rest eventually over a period of some time. Then it needs to be examined more thoroughly. So hence, obviously, the matter is with the Supreme Court of India right now. The Supreme Court is going to be examining it. It will hear the matter again tomorrow. It has made sure that the government has, in fact, given it a sense of the price negotiations that went underway between the present NDA regime and the previous French government under the presidentship of François Hollande as to what exactly happened and how was the price struck at the 9% cheaper Rafale jets that Eric Trappier talks about. He says obviously that earlier it was a deal for 18 flyaway Rafale jets with the UPA. Then of course this government said we want 36. He says that should have meant double the price for me, but the negotiations between the two governments ensured that the deal turned out to be 9% cheaper. So all of this will be something which will be delved into by the Supreme Court of India. The matter is in court. It remains to be seen if, of course, the Congress party continues to, besides, of course, protesting and bringing this up at various election rallies, brings this up in Parliament as well and asks for a JPC on the issue. It did try in the last session of Parliament, but then, of course, some statements were made by the Raksha Mantri of the country, Nirmala Sitharaman, on the floor of the House, and the government was... the government's position was that should have satisfied all in terms of the criticisms, because as far as the price details are concerned, they're confidential and they will not share the same.
Paulmi, thanks so much for that. We're going to keep coming back to you for updates.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.